Hi there, Clive. Thanks very much. Good afternoon to you. I've actually got some weather to talk about in this broadcast, particularly for the end of the week. Scenes like this behind me are what we're expecting through today and again tomorrow, but some very big changes for the end of the week. And remember, tomorrow is the first day of meteorological autumn. The weather's really going to reflect that. It's going to turn very unsettled, wet, some thunderstorms and even very windy. Perhaps a warning of gales coming out in the short term across more southwestern parts of the country. And then through part two of the weekend into the start of next week, this huge area of low pressure just sits to the west of the UK, spinning around. Could see that deep feature bring some gales to Ireland and around the Irish Sea, affecting Wales and the southwest of England. So a really stormy end to the weekend there for many areas. Probably better chance of seeing some sunny spells will be towards the east, but it stays unsettled into next week as well. Clive.
Good afternoon. It is the last day of meteorological summer and we had a glorious sunrise this morning over in Highgate from weather watcher Martin B. Some sunshine though through today. This is down in Surrey in Betchworth from weather watcher Lizzie's View.
Now, can you believe it is September tomorrow and the days are starting to feel shorter, aren't they? Sally is at the Tower of London where it still looks like it's quite a nice evening. Oh, she's up there. Hello, Sally.
Hi Duncan, you're at the Super Bloom. I've got some good news for you. Oh, what's I got down here? Oh. Not as bad as it was last time. Right, now the good news is that this place, was that elegant, is going to be free from tomorrow until the 18th of September. The bad news is it's not quite as blooming marvellous as it was, but from up high it's a bit brown, but from down here, Sam showed them, there is actually still some gorgeous colour. We've got beautiful pink cosmos, we've got the lovely towering sunflowers at the Tower of London. Now let's just rewind a few months ago at the beginning of the year. This was mud. Look at these pictures. It was basically a bit of a building site. They planted all the wildflower seeds and fast forward a few months and look what they managed to create. This stunning wildflower scene here at the Tower of London. Absolutely gorgeous. But what they didn't know was going to happen was that there was going to be a drought. Now, Tom, come and join us over here. I mean, stressful summer or what? The first time you do this and you get heat and no rain. What was the impact? What did it have effect on the flowers?
Well, some of the flowers found it really tough. They were absolutely parched and they went through their flowering cycle a lot more quickly and formed seed heads. Some flowers absolutely loved it. So
really?
The sort of desert flowers, some of these daisies here absolutely quite like the hot weather. So it's a mixed picture.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, I guess, for some people who came and it had gone a bit brown. But as you said, from tomorrow it's going to be free. And tell us, these are all self-seeding, right? So what happens next?
Yes, these are mostly hardy annuals, and so once they finish their flowering cycle, they form a seed head with seeds in it, and those seeds eventually dry on the plant and they drop, and then next spring they'll grow new ones. And actually, you can see here some examples of this. So these are Tower of London poppy seed heads.
Oh, wow.
And they're like little pepper pots, and inside them, if you shake them, you can see the seeds actually starting to come out. Or
Cool.
If you
How many are in each pod?
Well, they think about 1,300.
1,300
on average.
Oh my God, can I plant some poppy seeds?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Oh, thank you. And what? Oh, there we go. That was a nice moment. And what happens now? Do you sort of mow it all down at some point?
Well, it's going to look, we think, spectacular for another couple of weeks, and then as we head into the autumn, it will gradually dry, more seed heads will form, and then we'll mow it down, and the seeds will drop into the ground, and then we'll do a little bit more work on it, and replace some things that we don't think have worked, and then next spring, an echo of Super Bloom is going to come back.
Amazing. Oh, Tom, thank you so much for joining us. Well, we can't wait to see it again next year. No doubt we'll be here. Right, let's take a look at the weather. Last day of summer. Can you believe it? Here we go. Hello again. Well, someone is definitely ready for the first day of meteorological autumn. This little poppet has gathered its nuts, all set to go. Now, for the weather for it tomorrow, mostly dry. We've got some sun, bit of cloud, could see the odd shower, but from Friday and into the weekend, that's when things start to turn a little bit more unsettled.
A bit of a change on the way.
There is. Last day of meteorological summer day today, George, and a pretty pleasant one across the UK as well. But as we start to flip the weather calendar from summer through to autumn, there is quite a substantial change. In fact, by this weekend in particular, we could be talking about some heavy and thundery rain quite widely, and the potential for some of you of some very strong winds as well.
The drought this summer has, as we know, played havoc with the crops on many British farms. But what's been the impact on one crop in particular, Britain's wine-producing vineyards? Well, Alex has been finding out in Hampshire. Alex, tell us more.
Yes, that's right, Lucrezia. It certainly has been a record-breaking summer in so many ways and unforgettable for many. And it certainly has been quite harsh on farming and agriculture. But I am at Hattingley Valley Vineyard in Hampshire, which is on some fairly stunning grounds. Actually, 10 acres with 42,000 vines, which produce around 20,000 bottles of wine. And as you can imagine, the extreme weather has been, well, pretty harsh on them in some ways, and they are certainly worried about the future of winemaking here in Britain if our summers are going to be a lot drier than what they have been. Here's what they had to say a bit earlier.
The uncertainty really is, it's a really big challenge because we just don't know from year to year what it's going to be. And the extremes of weather seem to be getting more. We will have to think very hard about what we do with the vineyard. At the moment, everything looks great. But we know that this is 1 year out of the next 20, 30, 40.
Well, they'll certainly be hoping for a spot of rain in the coming days, and I think wishes are going to be granted. We are going to see more unsettled weather moving in towards this weekend, which is the start of September. So more autumnal conditions look like they are on the way. Well, looking at the rest of this week, it's going to be dry for now with high pressure not too far away. But as I say, we're expecting things to turn unsettled as we creep towards this weekend, really from Friday onwards. Well, that's the way it is looking this evening. Quiet for now. But as I say, prepare for a bit of rain as we head towards this coming weekend. So if you've got outdoor plans, maybe have a bit of a rain check.
And it's the last day of summer, Matt, and it's been quite the summer.
It has been. It's been a remarkable summer, hasn't it, really, Alice? Sunny, it's been hot, it's been dry, and we finished it on a fairly pleasant note as well, with sunshine overhead just to see the day out. Just a bit of fair weather cloud out there at the moment. That has been showing up on the satellite imagery. The biggest changes, though, come through the weekend, all driven by this deepening area of low pressure out towards the west of the UK. This is where we're going to see some of the wettest of the weather, but we will see changes for ourselves as well. So after a dry few days on the isolated showers, not seen an outlook like this for a while. From Sunday onwards, a greater chance of some rain and increasing breeze. Alice, it must mean the schools are back. Those wet school runs, do you know where the waterproofs are?
I'm going to have to find them. Thank you, Matt. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.